right, man. Let's talk about the Pistons. All right, now I did this video. Whatever reason, the sound wasn't on. I don't know why, but make sure it's on for this one. So Malik Beasley, one of the insiders said that the Pistons hold one of their two spots. They're holding for Beasley, and hoping that investigation get closed. So maybe they really believe that he's innocent. Maybe they had conversations and had a heart to heart. And maybe I think if they get a deal done, it won't be the deal that he got. More than likely, it probably won't. But like I continue to mention, Terry Rozier has been under the same fire for quite some time. That's the crazy thing about it. Terry Rozier has been under that fire for quite some time. And they said, oh, the case is wrapped up. And then they said, oh, no, we found more evidence. And about a month later, we ain't heard much about it. We ain't heard much about it. So we don't know where we lie at in the Terry Rozier case. And it's been going on at least, I feel like, a year. Maybe even a little bit more. A little bit less. But how long longer for, Terry Rozier? I mean, they indicted Terry Rozier. They just said, hey, he under investigation. They ain't indict Malik Beasley. He under investigation. So, and they must believe, hey, man, we know this guy. He a high character. We about to give him this money. We never thought he was point shaving. Or then, people started going back looking, pulling up stuff from Milwaukee. Pulling up the last play, damn near one of the last plays of the season when Cade dished it to him to hit the open three. Game 6 versus the Knicks, and people going around, but oh man, this dude been point shaving, or here's the proof right here. And one thing about social media, they gonna find stuff or find stretches or whatever to kind of prove the point. They do the Fed's job for them, But if they were to bring him back, then I think they closed that case on him. I think I think the Pistons' odds shoot up big time. And then he's been just, basically staying in the gym, rocking Piston gear. Maybe that's one of the reasons he rocked Piston gear. They already maybe have a handshake agreement that he'd come back if he cleared. And, he seems to be pretty confident, when he told Patrick Beverley that he'd be back in the league. Like, he's going to be back in the league and look like he'll be back with the Pistons. And if that's the case, and he joins the Pistons, what you will find is they're going to be, their odds are going to shoot up. LeVert, Beasley off the bench, and maybe that's one of the reasons they're not looking at Malik Monk. Maybe that's one of the reasons that they're like, all right, we good on Monk. We don't get Beasley, then we kind of look at a monkish type of guy, somebody in that character. So, and a lot of times they drag their feet in this process, and the Feds are very meticulous. When they drop indictments, more times than not, either you gonna settle, you gonna plead, or they gonna prosecute you. That's what we do know. So when them doing an investigation, it just sounds like for the most part, they got a tip from somebody and they start looking into it. And it's no secret about, a lot of those, mobsters, and they not the holy most, they not the, Mick, and get my Tommy gun. They not those type of guys no more. They've evolved. And they've openly talked about, players gambling in sports. And they get into these debts. And they help them get out the debts in exchange for the money. If they don't have the money or don't want to pay the money back with interest, they throw games so the mob can make money. That ain't no different. I mean, did y'all see what Michael Porter Jr. said? He said, yeah, I'm paraphrasing, but he said, yeah, if I, sports betting, it's enticing because if all your boys bet 10K on you to get the under 10 points and you pull a hamstring, you come out with 10, in the beginning of the game and they all get paid, how can that not be enticing for you? And everybody don't have the discipline. We all have our vices. And all my guys can get paid and I can give them 10K or they got 10K and they bet 10K on the under. But they monitor that activity. Excuse the road. It's bumpy right here. As y'all know from most mornings. You know, but they monitoring the activity. They watching all your people around you. If they placing certain bets, they know you're using them to place bets. Any loophole that they can find, they're gonna find it. I just wouldn't sports bet at all. If I had to have my betting gamble, hit the dice table, hit Gilbert Arenas gambling spot, pun intended, it was a joke. You know, go to the casino, backgammon, whatever it may be, roulette. What's what the Asians play? I forget. They little game they play, baccarat. That's not the game they play out there. I forget what they call it. Hit the slot machines or whatever. Yeah. My bad. They having Starbucks on my shit. I got ad free. Crazy. Yeah, but it's hard. It's hard. Everybody got their vices. And to some people, oh man, you can't stop smoking cigarettes. You can't stop smoking vapes, or that shit ain't shit. But everybody got their addictions or their little vices they go to, whether weed, whether it's shopping, whether it's gambling. You know, whether it's other recreational drug use, whether it's golfing, whatever it may be, alcohol. But, you know, usually when they have a case, real talk, usually when they have a case, like when they been watching, when they say, well, we investigating you, right after that investigation, you indicted. A lot of times they don't even let you they don't let the public know, they just indict. Look at Gilbert Arenas, indict. So for the most part, it just seemed like when Malik Beasley, they got somebody dropped a nickel on him, somebody dropped a dime on him. Because now, we paying attention to Malik Beasley. Now we gotta investigate. Usually, more times than not, when them indictments come, it's already the investigation is done. The case is already closed. It's already closed. So, you know, but let me know what you girls and guys think. Check out the Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Hit the link tree. It's the first link in the description. Follow me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Amazon, Kick, Twitch, wherever I'm producing content at. Check it out. Like I said, check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. I appreciate the love and support. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Peace.